My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video. And you guys remember quite a few months ago now, I started giving you my observations as a truck driver of things starting to go wrong in the trucking industry because of all of Donald Trump's nonsensical trade wars. And I started telling you guys how that was all going to start catching up to us. You remember I started talking about truck stops that were full when they should have been empty. I started telling you about truck stops that were empty when they should have been full. I started telling you about places that I go to on a regular basis, and normally I'd be sitting there waiting for quite a while to get loaded or unloaded, and I noticed I wasn't losing that time anymore because as soon as I'd show up, the place would be ready for me with whatever they needed to do. And I said to you, my friends, it's only a matter of time before we start to see this reflected in the actual numbers, and truckers in America start to lose their ass due to Donald Trump's failed economic policies. You guys remember all that, right? And then not too long after that, I came out with a couple videos talking about trucking companies closing down, a couple different ones, truckers losing jobs for consecutive months in a row on the jobs report. And it turned out all of what I was saying, all of my predictions, well, they were right. And I don't mean to give myself a pat on the back, but when you have done something for over a decade, and as long as you don't lie to yourself in service of the orange menace Donald Trump, you start to notice that things are going really fucking wrong out here, and then all that stuff starts to happen, right? And you guys have been asking me for a trucking update for a while, so I've been working on getting some stuff together because truth be told, there's not a whole lot to say, except that it is really fucking dead right now. But when you start to look into the numbers, it gets really interesting, and we are seeing sort of a crash coming. We are seeing what should be the Christmas shopping season and all that stuff do absolutely nothing in the trucking industry. So I want to tell you guys about my observations today and sort of go through my predictions of what is going to happen in trucking as we continue to slide into Donald Trump's world of insanity that we all live in. It's quite interesting. Now, I know the Epstein files are a very big deal right now, so I'm just going to give you a quick overview on my thoughts on that. There are so many people covering the Epstein files in depth out there, and I didn't see the need to produce a whole video dedicated to it. But because there's so many people out there, obviously it's important, okay? Don't misinterpret that. It's very important, but it's just wall-to-wall coverage with many, many content creators and news channels. So that's what I meant by that, all right? It is still very important. But my overview on that is I do believe the bill to release the Epstein files will pass in the House next week. We are seeing huge numbers of Republicans break with Donald Trump on that, to the point that they are talking about a veto-proof majority when it comes to the House and the Senate votes as being a possibility. And I'm going to level with you guys. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. I did not know that you could get so many people to vote that the president could not veto it. That's new to me. Hey, I'm still learning things as I go, but I believe it will pass in the House. I even believe that it will pass in the Senate. And even if Donald Trump still retains veto power, it didn't get enough votes for that, let him fucking veto it. Then we know exactly who that motherfucker is. So it's all bad for Donald Trump. There's nothing going to save him when it comes to this. And maybe if he is able to veto it, maybe we can see some articles of impeachment after that. Look, you're obviously covering up a crime. We need to start moving on with that. So I don't see a good outcome for Donald Trump at all. Period. And he's not getting away with this one. And that's my sort of overview of the Epstein files. So I'm going to put a few graphics up on the screen for you guys here to go along with the things that I am talking about today, because a lot of what I'm talking about today is going to be my observations as a truck driver. But it is important to put numbers and data to go along with that if you're able to collect it, because the first thing that happens is somebody comes out and goes, you didn't tell us shit, you just told us how you felt about something, and what the fuck do you know? So that's why I'm putting those on the screen for you guys to have a look look at. Pause the video, read those if you need to, because those do go along with the things that I am going to tell you today about what is going on in the trucking industry. So most importantly, what we need to know right now is we are at the holiday shopping season when it comes to driving trucks in America right now. We are 2 weeks out from Thanksgiving, fucking Thanksgiving, and then the day after is Black Friday. Excuse me, where everybody goes out, spends all their hard-earned money buying useless bullshit for their loved ones, right? We all know that. And then the following Monday after that is Cyber Monday, where people buy all the useless bullshit on the internet instead. But a fun fact about Cyber Monday is all the shit you buy there still has to move by truck in America, right? It still has to. So when you look at the information that I put up on the screen for you guys earlier, you can go off of that information and clearly fucking see that we are not seeing an increase in freight volumes, in freight rates, in anything going into what is the biggest season in the country for the American truck driver. This is the part of the time of year that we all fucking live for. If we're getting our asses handed to us any other time of the year, we say, hey, we can always look forward to the Christmas shopping season. Sure, we aren't going to make it home to see our family because we got to recoup all the money we didn't make the rest of the year, and we're going to run our asses off, but we're going to run at higher rates, and it's all going to work out because that's when we're really going to make the fucking money, my friends. And we just straight up are not seeing that happen. And one of the biggest things that bothers me about making these fucking videos is, look, I do hate Donald Trump, but I hate Donald Trump for valid fucking reason. Donald Trump is a piece of shit president that has done nothing but destroy the American economy now twice, and it has taken his anger out on the poor and working class American people because the spoiled fucking brat thinks that like life was unfair for him for some reason or another. So disregarding what I say as, oh well, he's just a Trump hater, is a fatal fucking move for the American truck driver right now. But I get really fucking frustrated, my friends, when truck drivers come to me, and they will in this video, and they'll say, you're full of shit, I'm living the best life I've ever lived under Donald Trump's rule here in America. And the biggest thing that pisses me off about the MAGA movement is for some reason we're all expected to live in the same fucking fantasy world that they live in. As a 12-year truck driver that's been an owner-operator, that is currently a lease operator, I snorted when I said that. The reason why is because lease operator in general is considered to be a bad idea, and most of the time it is. And I kind of started to laugh about that because like I do goofy shit sometimes. I'm enjoying myself though. I've been a company driver, all of those things, years of experience doing all these things. Do these truckers really expect me to believe that they are living in some alternate reality where they are shielded from all the bullshit that Donald Trump is causing the American truck driver? I wish more Americans would stop fucking lying to themselves about what is going on, because the sooner we can all be honest about what is happening, the sooner we can make the necessary changes in this country and start moving fucking forward. So these truckers or these farmers or these construction workers or these warehouse workers or the welders or the pipe fitters, whoever that tells you they are living a better life because of Donald Trump, they are extremely full of shit when they say that. And it drives me nuts because I was here the last time Donald Trump crashed the fucking economy and sent, I don't know if it's millions, but a lot of truck drivers into fucking bankruptcy. Guys that own their own fucking trucks went bankrupt over Donald Trump's bullshit the last time. And then they spent the next 4 years, I've watched them here on YouTube, spent the next 4 years blaming Joe Biden for some fucking reason, because they're dumb, I guess, I don't know. And then now Donald Trump is fucking them again, and they're saying that everything is just roses and rainbows and just beautiful, and fuck them. They're all gonna go broke. What do I care? Why does that bother me? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. But anyways, the point is, we're not seeing this massive rush that we're supposed to be seeing this time of year. I am at a truck stop right now. If I were to estimate, it's a pretty large truck stop that I would guess fits somewhere between 200 to 300 trucks in the parking lot right now. And I would just estimate, just eyeballing it, there's 20 to 30 trucks here period. That's it. That's all that's in this fucking parking lot right now. It's dead. Absolutely fucking dead. And one of the interesting things that you guys have pointed out to me is that when you start to see a failing economy, one of the things you will start seeing get worse is cardboard, like the cardboard boxes and shit like that, right? Well, do I have fucking interesting news for you, my friends? I have very interesting news, because I actually haul cardboard on a quite regular basis out of a landfill that goes all the way across the country to a recycling facility that I would assume turns it into cardboard packaging, boxes and shit like that, right? And I noticed a weird thing is that I haven't been there for a while. I told you guys about a time a couple months ago where I went somewhere, and normally I would sit there for a couple hours, and I went in, got loaded, and got the fuck out and got on the road. It was the cardboard place a few months ago, right? And then I noticed, like, man, I haven't been there for a while, and they sent me back there today. I was surprised to see it, and I went there today, and this place bothers the fuck out of me, because what you do is you pull up into this narrow driveway, and there's a scale, and you get out and you talk to the people, and they say, okay, all our docks are full right now, so what we needed to do is turn around in our little tiny fucking yard we have here, do a U-turn, and then get back out on that busy street in the middle of this fucking city that you're in, and on that busy street in the middle of the city you're in, find a place to park your truck, and we'll call you whenever we're ready for you to come in, right? And then you sit out there, you've got enough time to take a goddamn nap, and whatever it is you need to do before you hear from them. Anytime I went there last year, you were likely to spend the entire day there waiting for a phone call, getting checked in, waiting for your phone call, then getting loaded, and then by that time, it was time to start looking for a place to park because your whole day was shot. Well, I went there today too, my friends, to get that fucking load of cardboard. I sure fucking did. And I went in, and they checked me in. They said, our docks are empty, go ahead and pick one, and we'll come out and get you loaded. I was out of there 20 fucking minutes. 20 minutes. In what used to be an all-day process. Now, I'm able to write that off one time as a fluke. Okay, that just it happens sometimes. That's good. I'll take it. But now it is becoming a pattern. It's becoming consistent that is what's going on. So for those of you that have pointed out the cardboard box situation and how that is a sign of a declining economy, as a person that hauls recycled cardboard across the country on occasion, I too have noticed that steep decline in the cardboard needing to move around this country. And on top of all that, I said something a couple weeks ago that I didn't realize was a trend that was going on in America when I was pissed off in one of my videos, as pissed off as I get sometimes, and I said, fuck Christmas, fuck the holidays, fuck Thanksgiving, I'm not participating. And I've said I'm not participating because it happened, I said that during the shutdown, and I'm like, people are out there starving to death right now. The government's trying to starve them. Nobody can afford shit. And I don't see the need in helping to support a system that is actively working to fuck over the American people. It was just kind of a, off the cuff kind of thing that I said, and I did not realize from my comment section, I found out that apparently this is a pretty organized thing. Apparently a lot of Americans are not participating in the holidays. They're like, fuck it, I'm not buying anyone anything. I can't afford to buy anyone anything. We don't know what the economy is going to be from one day to the next. So why would we go spend the money that we still have left at this point? And I didn't know that was a thing that was going on until you guys told me in quite a few comments that you also were not participating in all of the bullshit. And I found that to be very interesting. And I think, obviously, when you mix the tariffs, you guys remember the tariffs, the job uncertainty, and it was the uncertainty of the government shutdown, but now the government's back open, everybody's health insurance premiums are going to double, triple, and quadruple on them overnight. We're going to get slaughtered by the holiday season in the supply chain, period, in this fucking country, and that's all there is to it. So I want to end the video off with a couple of predictions, and we'll see how it turns out. That's all we can do. But I predict that there are a lot of trucking companies out there right now that are struggling very much financially. And I think they are going to try to hold on, excuse me, through the through the holidays for a couple of fucking reasons. One of the reasons is nobody wants to be the asshole that fires somebody right before the fucking holidays. That's tragic, and then they'll, you know, feel bad, I guess. But also there may be trucking companies holding on to hope that we will still see, maybe a little bit delayed, but may see a lot of freight needing to move around the country and still hoping to recoup the losses that they are dealing with right now. So I don't actually anticipate seeing a lot of trucking companies, maybe a few here and there, closing before the first of the year. But I think after the first of the year, it all sets in. The finances aren't there. We didn't make enough money, anything like that. The first quarter of next year, 2026, is going to be an absolute fucking bloodbath for the trucking companies in America, as they will have no choice but to close their doors in large fucking numbers because the numbers just aren't there. The rates aren't up. There's just, you guys get it. There's nothing there. There's nothing to it. Now, there is a little bit of hope for it, but I don't think that we've got a lot of hope left in this country right now because the Supreme Court is looking at Donald Trump's tariffs, and if they're legal, let me help you out, Supreme Court. They're not. Can you please fucking do your job? Can you shoot these tariffs down? They're so terrified of Donald Trump that they're not willing to just say, I guess, that the tariffs aren't legal. Dipshit, you're not allowed to do this. But it doesn't matter because all the relationships, I know I say this all the time, but all the relationships with other countries are completely fucking ruined at this point, and we're not considered to be a reliable trading partner. So I think, like I said, we'll see companies hold on through the holidays, and then after that, there is going to be a shockwave moving through the supply chain of the United States as we move on through the holidays, because the problems are only going to compound. Here's what I'm going to end it on this, all right? Normally, you are used to seeing massive drops in freight volumes and freight rates after the first of the year. That is very, very standard. Nobody gives a fuck too much to work through January because there's no money to be made, and that is because everybody just spent all their money on all the holiday shopping, right? And you compound that with the fact that there was no holiday shopping to fucking begin with. You've got a recipe for absolute disaster, devastation, and destruction brought to you at the hands of Donald Trump and his stupid fucking trade wars. It's gonna be bad, my friends. It's gonna be ugly. I laugh because the other option is cry, and I don't want to do that on the camera just yet. I'll save that for a very special day when I'm freaked out about what the fuck I'm going to do with my life after everything comes crumbling down, my friends. Anyways, with that said, I gotta get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.